Hey everybody, I just wanted to check in. It's been forever and hoping to get this in before the Twinkies wake up. You can hear them kind of stretching in the background. I'll get you a picture of them in a minute. But super quick, I just wanted to let you know how things are going, and hopefully I'll be able to get a little bit more out there once I get my bearings a little bit better. I have to admit I've been struggling trying to get a better routine for myself. I think the twins really have, or I have my routine for them down pretty packed, but trying to work in my own routine has been a little bit challenging. As you can see, I'm disheveled. But today is August 5th, and the babies will be 10 weeks this Thursday, so they're 9 weeks and a few days. And they're doing really well. They actually just had their 2-month checkup yesterday, and they're growing. So they were born, Kaiden was born at 5 pounds, 15 ounces, and Londyn was born at 4 pounds, 15 ounces. Kaiden left the hospital a little bit, I think a half an ounce bigger than he was born, and then Londyn had lost 4 ounces, so she was down to 4 pounds, 11 ounces when we left for 4 pounds, 12. But at 2 months, Kaiden is 11 pounds and 6 ounces, and Londyn is 9 pounds, 4 ounces. So they've gained a lot of weight. They're doing really well. They got their shots yesterday, which was not fun, but they both took them like champs, and they were really fussy all day yesterday. But today they're somewhat calming down. And the doctor wrote them a prescription for acid reflux, Prevacid. I'm waiting on the pharmacy to call so we can pick that up because the reflux has gotten really bad. They're spitting up pretty consistently after every meal. So other than that, they're doing good. I go back to work in about 2.5 weeks, and they'll be going to a babysitter that we found. That's about 2 minutes from their job, so I'll be able to go and see them during the day. I'm excited about that because I know I'll miss them, though I have to admit I am kind of looking forward about going back to work. It's hard just being me, the twins, and the dog because I don't really get to talk to people much. So let me give you kind of a rundown since the last time. I think last time they were only a couple weeks old, and they're on about a 3-hour schedule for feeding. And in the very beginning, we started them on formula because my milk took like almost 2 weeks to really come in fully. Even the colostrum, it took even a week for it to come in. I think because I was induced and everything that happened, my body wasn't really prepared. So we've been slowly weaning them off of formula, and I've been more regularly breastfeeding them, and that was a challenge. I have to admit, I'd never realized how difficult it was to breastfeed, and I'm thinking, man, I got boobs, and they got mouths, and that's what they're made for, and it'll be great. So at the beginning, Kaiden was the first one to really figure out his latch about a month, maybe a little less than a month in. And before then, I was just pumping as much as I could and giving them as much milk as I could. So Kaiden finally got his latch, and it was a struggle in the beginning. It hurt, just because he wasn't used to it, and especially with the nipple confusion. And then I developed thrush. That was horrible. Got their medicine, and they finally got rid of it. And then about 3 weeks ago now, or 2 weeks ago, Londyn finally figured out her latch, and it's a lot of pain again. My nipples, sorry TMI, are pink and sore and raw and horrible. But the advantages, or the blessing, is that she finally figured it out. So now we're up to about of the 8 feedings. We just dropped a feeding, but of the 8 feedings before, we were nursing about 4 or 5 out of the feedings a day. And as I just mentioned, we just dropped the 3 a.m. feeding, thank goodness. So we're getting a good stretch from 9 p.m. They eat at 9 p.m. and then we're not feeding them again until 3, and really I still have to wake Londyn up for the 3 a.m., but Kaiden pretty much wakes up. But they're stretching it through. So now they're doing about 2 to 3 on formula, and then the rest I am breastfeeding. And I have a storage stocked up of breast milk ready for me to go back to work. I have about 150 ounces now. They're eating, as far as formula, about 3.5 ounces. So I'm figuring by the time I go back, and maybe in a month or so, they're going to be up to about 4 ounces. And so I'm trying to get enough, because I don't think I'll be able to really be able to pump that much during the day. I'll be able to pump, I just don't know if I'll be able to pump that much. So I'm hoping to try to stretch it out, and then on the weekends do some power pumping to have milk ready for the week and things like that. So that's kind of the breastfeeding experience, and general milestones, what's going on right now. They're so strong. They're really starting to lift up their heads and look around and be very, very active and alert. Kaiden is cooing like crazy and smiling like crazy. Londyn is still just serious. I don't know if you've ever heard of bitchy resting face. If you haven't, look it up on Google or on YouTube, and it's a hilarious video about it. But Londyn definitely has the bitchy resting face. She's just serious all the time. I can get her to smile every once in a while. She definitely smiles in her sleep or when she's nursing and falls asleep. But she's very attentive. When you look at her, she looks at you. She looks you dead in the eye. She's not letting you go. She's watching you, traveling throughout the room. So that's pretty cool. As I mentioned, they do have pretty bad reflux, so we've lifted up their mattress on an incline, and they're actually sleeping right now in their rock and plays, which helps them sleep at an incline. But other than that, let's see what other milestones. I mentioned they got their shots, and our next appointment is their 4-month appointment. And then hopefully we'll be able to drop another feeding and they'll be sleeping longer. So right now I'm trying to just prepare to go back to work, as I mentioned, trying to pump as much as I can, get as much breast milk stored up, and just love on them and have, time with them and keep getting the schedule. Right now we're doing the easy. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but Google it. It's the eat, active, sleep, and then your time. They're not getting as much active time as I would think, but I'm thinking maybe they were preemies, so they may just be working on their adjusted time. I don't mind. If they're sleepy, they sleep. If they're hungry, we're in there on, relatively close to their time. They're eating. I can try to play with them as much as possible. But as for me, I'm doing okay. As I mentioned, it's been hard for me to get my schedule going. I'm just really tired. It took a lot for me to just get healed. And so trying to get a schedule of what I need to do, it has been kind of difficult. And then topping it off, for them to eat, burp, diaper change, all of that, it's about an hour and a half process. And if you think about it, the 3 hours is from start to start. So after that, I then have about an hour before they start getting hungry and fussy. And it means an hour for me to, whether it's shower or eat. I'm so hungry all the time because of the breastfeeding. We'll take a nap, watch some TV. It just gets a little bit difficult, so I'm still trying to work on how to get that leveled out. And then a lot of times they'll just fuss the whole time, so I end up holding a baby, or I use my baby carrier or my baby wrap, and I wrap them or walk around with them and try to keep them calm, or try to get cleaning done, which is absolutely impossible. So I'm lucky that I have a husband that pretty much maybe doesn't like to clean, but will clean, and is very active, when he gets home from work. That's a whole other subject. I think I want to do another video about the impacts of new baby or new babies on the house, on your marriage, on your family, because I definitely have a little bit of an experience that I want to share, and maybe some words of wisdom to help you new mommies that are preparing to give birth, to help a little bit of a smoother